enforcer.
I believe they're called enforcers, Gordon.
I sell women's shoes.
And the Stallion.
Stallion, baby! I am not what you would call a handsome man.
I'll kick you in the nuts and you'll smile at me and like it.
All night long.
Well, we are back with another episode of the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast. He is the Stallion. I am the Enforcer. And how you doing, buddy?
I've been better. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for the people that are listening.
You know, for the people that are watching, looking at us in this video, like if you didn't know that this was a podcast about professional wrestling, what would you think this was?
How not to be successful in life. That's what I would say that it is.
Well,
That's all I got.
Not going to disagree with you. We're just a couple of guys trying to talk wrestling and professional sports. Mainly wrestling.
We talk about pro sports?
Well, we talk about professional wrestling. That's a real sport.
That works, yeah. I agree.
Unlike those activities like baseball and polo.
Regular polo or like water polo?
My man Rich is a water polo coach, so I can't really tell him that it's not a sport.
Oh. Is he listening?
He does, yeah.
Okay. I agree then. I think it is a sport. It's an Olympic sport, is it not?
It is an Olympic sport.
It counts in my book.
So is curling. We're still spreading the word. Look at that. Facebook keeps telling me they're spreading the word. You know what Facebook doesn't do? I can't curse on it.
Generate revenue for us?
Yeah, actually, Facebook is kind of like, oh, we got a thumbs up already. Thank you. Facebook is kind of like, I feel like I'm paying alimony and child support because I just keep putting money into Facebook and I get nothing out of it. And RJ likes curling. That's awesome. I've never, it's kind of like shuffleboard, right?
On ice, I believe.
Shuffleboard on ice. Everything's better on ice. They should do MMA on ice.
You think so?
Yeah, I could try it. I can't skate. It's because I'm fat.
I don't think that's the reason.
I'm still fat. Well, anyway. It's going to be that kind of show. WrestleMania 33. Right? 33?
33.
33 is in the books. On top of WrestleMania 33 being in the books, NXT TakeOver Orlando, Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor, Wrestle Circus, Beyond Wrestling, and every other show that happened last weekend is over. The biggest weekend of the year is now dead.
How depressing.
How depressing. There's nothing to look forward to in the world of professional wrestling. There's nothing left. Wrestling is a sport. Absolutely, wrestling is a sport.
He's right.
Professional wrestling is for damn sure a sport. But there were so many matches over the weekend. A lot of my friends on Facebook, actually BT, I'm pretty sure you were there in Orlando. I feel like we missed the boat. You know, it's mainly because work is the anchor around our ankles, Joe. But at some point, I'd like to go to WrestleMania. Not even for WrestleMania itself, but for all the shows that go on around WrestleMania. Like, I would have killed to be there when Tommy End debuted in NXT over the weekend. Would have killed to be there watching the ladder match between the Hardys and the Young Bucks. But we watched it from our couch, Joe. It wasn't bad.
It's not bad, yeah. And you don't have to sit and be forced to watch an 8-hour WrestleMania if you don't want to. If you choose to get up and walk out of the room or get something to drink, it's an option.
I don't know if you listen to me, but I didn't mention WrestleMania at all. Because I wouldn't personally. How long was that show? The pre-show started at 5 o'clock. It ran until 12:30 at night.
Yeah, it was like 7.5 hours.
How many Flow Rider songs can I get through in 7 hours?
Not enough. Not enough. That's what I'm saying.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We got to talk WrestleMania. It's the granddaddy of them all, as they say, which I don't think they've said in a while, have they?
Probably because Vince thinks the word granddaddy makes it sound old, if I was guessing.
Didn't he used to say... He was the one that said granddaddy of them all, right?
Sure. Yeah, I think... and also they stopped using the numbers. I know we use the numbers, but they don't use the numbers.
Oh, this is WrestleMania: The Ultimate Thrill Ride. Right?
Yeah, they don't have. It's just WrestleMania now. They don't put the number in the logo anymore.
That's unfortunate.
After 30, I believe they said.
That was the only one. That was the only thing I liked about WrestleMania was the number of the logo.
That's it? That's the only thing you liked?
Really, speaking of people, things like Kyle says, the Hardys are back, and I can't wait to see what they do now they're back in WWE. But I guess before we get to WrestleMania, we'll talk about the Hardys. I'm reading more and more that Matt is now unbroken. He is now normal Matt Hardy. Oh. And if you follow WWE on Twitter or Instagram or anything, there are the Hardy Boys. If they are the Hardy Boys, that would make us the All Night Long Wrestling fetuses. Yeah. Because the Hardy Boys almost have grandkids, for God's sake. So,
well, they. It's funny, when I think they were last with the company, which is 9 years ago now, something like that. I think they were going by, like, the Hardys. They stopped calling them Hardy Boys, I guess, maybe because they felt like they were in their 30s or whatever it was and all stuff. Now they call them the Hardy Boys again, so who knows? I don't really have any.
But they're not the Hardy Boys. They're the Hardy Boys.
With a Z.
With a Z.
It's cooler that way.
We could be the All Night Long Wrestling podcast. I got nothing. Let's get to Mania. You know what I'm just thinking? We could use a backdrop hanging from the ceiling. Maybe we can get a... What do you think? Some kind of terrible...
What kind of backdrop are you looking to put back here?
I don't know. Maybe
like make it like a Picasso painting or something and hang it in the background?
I actually got somebody who can put a painting up. No problem. We can get a painting up there. So could you. You get a painting up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can get a painting.
You got connections.
I got connections.
In the arts and crafts world out there.
Yeah, maybe like a... I don't know. We'll look at something. That way people know we're not just two bearded jerk-offs talking about how much we don't like our jobs.
I don't know if the background's going to change that, but I know what you mean.
It's a good point. All right, let's get to WrestleMania. So, unfortunately, I still have yet to see the opening pre-show opening match of the night.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was like probably the best thing on the show I've heard. Neville and Austin Aries. Champion Neville defending against number one contender Austin Aries. You're going to have to speak on this match because I think I was too busy getting Chinese food at this point.
Okay. Well, yeah, it was the first match on the pre-show. There were 3 pre-show matches. This was the first one. I think it was around like maybe 5:20 or something like that in the afternoon. So it was still daylight out for the match, but they had a good match. You know, it was they gave them a lot of time. They gave them a little over 15 minutes, which was nice. These guys obviously are both very talented.
That's longer than like 5 matches on Raw combined.
Yeah, I don't know if Noam Dar has wrestled a total of 15 minutes combined yet. So.
But I've heard plenty of Foxy.
Yeah.
Alicia Fox.
Stop watching. Yeah, no 205 Live, man. You gotta cut that out of your diet.
Fox.
But, yeah, I thought the match was very good. There wasn't really any botched or blown spots that I know of. I mean, I know there were some spots where Neville gave Aries a suplex on the back of his head. People were a little frightened by that, but Aries seemed fine. And I thought the finish was pretty clever where Neville gouged Aries' bad eye that he had surgery on, and then... put him away with his the Red Arrow finisher, which he doesn't always use.
Continuity in the storyline, man.
So it was good. I mean, I think we thought Neville was going to win, and having him cheat or do something, heelish to win was the right move. That way, it kind of gives Aries a little bit of an out to get a rematch, which he now already has after he won another number one contenders match apparently on 205 Live this week. So I thought it was a good match.
No idea. I had no idea that happened.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. It was really good. I mean, it's worth. I think if you're combing through this card and you're trying to fast forward and watch the good matches, this would be one where I would say you should watch it because it's worth.
So what you're saying is, if somebody was to wake up in the morning and say, "Well, I don't have anything to do today," I can watch 8 hours of wrestling. Mm-hmm. They should start with Neville versus Austin Aries.
I would watch Neville versus Aries. It would be on my list of the matches on this show that I would sit down and watch.
Would the next match, the 33-man over-the-top Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, make the cut?
Interesting. I didn't realize it was a 33-man Battle Royal, and there's 33. It's WrestleMania 33.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
I would not, unless you're a fan of Rob Gronkowski. If you're not a fan of Gronk, then
the Gronk.
Yeah. If you're not a fan of Gronk,
dream
then I would.
Involving Gronk.
Were you on the Gronk cruise?
No, I was throwing at a house party. This is a true story, and if Kyle O is watching, I texted him in the morning. I had a dream that I was throwing a house party at a friend's house from high school, and the neighboring house, the guy walked outside, and it was Rob Gronkowski, and Kyle was blackout drunk trying to get Gronk to party with us, and he eventually did. It was a very detailed long dream, but that was the crux of it.
Sounds like it could happen in real life. I bet.
It could. All you have to do is offer Gronk like 17 strippers and 12-pack. It'll be fun.
I guess as far as the Battle Royal is concerned, I don't know if there's too much to mention other than I guess it was. I don't want to say it was expected, but I think it was favored. A lot of people thought Braun Strowman would win. Him and Big Show just had like a back and forth in the beginning of the match, and then they were both eliminated. So the final few guys were Mojo Rawley. The final two were Mojo Rawley and Jinder Mahal, and I believe it was Killian Dane from Sanity was the third to last guy of the final three. So it ended with Gronk came in and he took out Jinder Mahal with a shoulder block and shoulder tackle, if you will, and then Mojo ended up winning the Battle Royal, much to my surprise for sure. Yeah,
definitely surprised me too. I think that he's been in developmental for a while. They're trying to give him the rub after his tag team with Zack Ryder kind of faded away after Ryder's injury.
Hype Bros.
The Hype Bros. Speaking of, actually, Ryder ditched two of his tag team partners. I see he's no longer with Emma.
Yeah, that's true.
That's an unfortunate loss for him.
He's dating, what's her name? Laurel Van Ness from TNA, apparently. Excuse me, Impact Wrestling.
Well, I take that back, and I hope he's happy. Good for him. A surprise match on the pre-show, unannounced, right? Pretty much until the pre-show, right? It just popped up.
Yeah, I didn't know that there would be a third match, even if what it would have been, but ended up being
Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin for the Intercontinental title. I thought it was an okay match. It won about 11 minutes, so it got a little bit of time. Now, I don't know if you've heard these rumors as to why this got bumped to the pre-show. Did you hear this? Dean Ambrose being punished?
No.
Rumor has it, and this is all speculation on the internet, so take it for what it's worth, but rumor has that Dean Ambrose got drunk at the Hall of Fame ceremony, and they punished him by putting his match on the pre-show. If that story is true, I think it's probably the greatest thing I've ever heard, and it makes me like Dean Ambrose even more. But I didn't think they had a bad match. I really thought Baron Corbin was going to be the guy to get the W, but obviously we found out later he got the win on SmackDown in a no-holds-barred non-title match, which really didn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the decision. It's interesting, I guess, if they were punishing Ambrose by putting his match in the pre-show, but he still won anyway. That was
curious. Yeah, that was the crux of the.
Yeah, no, I think I agreed that it seemed like Corbin is in a spot where he should win. I just didn't feel like this was the spot where he was going to do it. And I guess Ambrose ended up beating him on the pre. It was okay, but like you said, the SmackDown match they had I thought was much better.
Yeah, definitely, they had a really good match. They're both guys that I guess benefit from the plunder, if you will. Mm. So, the kickoff WrestleMania. Now, this WrestleMania, this was the official start of the pay-per-view, and I feel like WrestleMania was a match. Was a card of two halves. You started with AJ Styles and Shane McMahon. I thought these two had a great match. I thought AJ bumped his ass off for Shane McMahon more than he had any right to do. I don't know if you agree with that or disagree with that. But he made Shane look like a legitimate threat and contender who throws the worst punches I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know how you felt about this match, but I thought it was really good. I mean, I wasn't sure what to expect from Shane because you don't really know, right? Usually he relies on a lot of the stunts and weapons and things of that nature. Crux of the match. And I will say, going into this show, you said last week there's only two things you want all day on Sunday. One was a Masato Tanaka victory. I know it's not Masato, but one is a Tanaka victory, and two was an AJ Styles victory. You got 1 out of 2.
Yeah.
I mean, could have been worse.
In the grand scheme, this was probably more important that he won here. I thought he would win. I mean, I think we both picked him to win. I just, you always get concerned with some of this stuff. I mean, I thought he was a shoe-in to beat Jericho last year, and that didn't happen. So, yeah, but they had a really good match. I mean, they only really busted out some of the crazy stuff at the end. There was a